Hello and welcome to episode 128 of the Take a Pull podcast with Andy Cummins and Declan Carroll, and getting that semi-more regular Luke Keena in. Luke, how are things with you, bud? All good?
I should living the dream here. What else are you doing on a Friday night?
Yeah, putting in your overtime again, are you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Dundalk's on here.
Very good, yeah. Well, look, that's...
We're gonna watch a few live bets from you, Luke.
If we have no pause there, you know why.
It'd be the definition of after time. Like, watching Luke back the winner the 6:45 at Dundalk on Friday when we were talking about the potential.
Sure, anyone that's listening in now, we should be doing live. Natalia Lupini's in the next there. This will either look great in the morning or I'll be a fucking idiot.
Right, what's that? That'll be the 6:45 at Dundalk. So you can feel free to abuse Luke in the comments, or call him an after timer if she wins. There's nothing that makes you look good here, Luke, unfortunately.
No, this is lose.
Yeah, it's
you got wrong when you could have just
said nothing. No one could
have just said nothing. So while we gamble like degenerates on Dundalk, and we covered day 2 of Punchestown, Luke joined us again on a Friday night. Deck, how are things with you? All good?
Yeah, not too bad. They've been under the weather now, Andy.
Right.
So we'll get through this. I'll make it tomorrow, though. Don't worry.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, struggling a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be in for Sunday. Sunday work for me. Really looking forward to this weekend. Like, obviously we covered on top one at 127. Saturday we have a good nap at the top that's opened 14 to 1 deck. Or I think you got 20s. Yeah, lucky, but 14 to 1, still a double figure price there. So if you want to go back and listen to our nap at the top on Saturday. The Sunday card is just as good. Really looking forward to it. Starting off with the Risk of Thunder. May as well kick off straight away.
We can give away the tickets first.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're dead right. I was probably thinking about doing that towards the end. Well, we can do it now straight away.
And make people listen till the end.
No, well look, it's good. We have it now. So Deck, first set of tickets as drawn. Anyone that commented the winner of the Alba Bartlett Series final on at the Punchestown Festival last year. If you commented on Twitter, Spotify, or YouTube, you had a chance of winning. So the first tickets there, Deck, who are they going to?
Yeah, so there was one from YouTube, and it was at Aaron Kilpatrick 7917, and there was one from Twitter, which was Michael Whelan at Mickey Whelan 7. So if you we'll be in touch, but if you listen to us before we get in touch with you, just drop us a message. We'll have to get your email because Punchestown send them out directly to you. And thanks to Punchestown.
Absolutely, yeah. Congratulations, lads. Hope you enjoy your weekend there at Punchestown. And yeah, well, if you see us there, we'll meet you for a pint. Cool. Again, and thanks again to Sean. And I just actually, before we do go ahead, I did see, I think it was Fran Berry that shared it. They were handing out a few tickets to the schools and handing out free tickets in the community again, which is always great to see. So another nice initiative there from Punchestown to try and fill the place with the families. Really, really good. Hopefully they get a big crowd. Right, on to one of my favourite races of the week, the 11:43 at Punchestown on Sunday is the Colin Quinn BMW Risk of Thunder Chase over the banks, 3 miles. And unlike Cheltenham, they decide to cancel this race 2 weeks out, which is great. So we've got 15 runners. Likelihood is it's going to be pretty testing. I suppose the ones that you're drawn to very quickly are Busselton, who probably won't enjoy the ground. Vanillier, possibly a touch unlucky at Cheltenham last year when Sean Flanagan took the wrong turn, had to put the reverse lights on. And Gavin Cromwell obviously has final orders in there as well. Desert Moor House, another interesting runner, and you've got a few the Goffer, and then 3x2 who could go around here blindfolded. Deck, who do you fancy here in the Risk of Thunder? It's not a bad old race.
No, it's very interesting racing. It takes a little bit of working out, but I kind of went against my maths, and I do like Busselton in 8-year-old. And he chased down Killenholm over hurdles recently, very versatile. He beat Desert Moor House into the 2, only by 3/4 of a length, and that was off levels. And Desert Moor House actually gets £5 from him, but I just think Busselton is one who can keep improving over these obstacles. And but look, there's No, Vanilla is in here, as you said, and I didn't think he looked himself at the festival at all at Punchestown. And I think to take him on here. 3x2, a mare who loves this discipline. She only has a length to find with Bustleton, and she gets £5 more on Sunday than she did in the Latouche. And Mighty King is one who's, I think, is very interesting, is one to keep an eye on going forward. He took it really, really well at the festival. I thought he was very, very quick over his obstacles until he unseated the jockey. But it was a bit, and obviously he jumped it like a steeplechase fence, and jockey just came out the side door. But like 5-year-old, it's quite young to be starting off in this discipline. We don't always see it. You Vital Island in here. There was a winner at the festival, 13 now. But I get Bustleton for me, Andy. I think he's quite exciting now. In this discipline, you know, he's very versatile. You know, did he win it? Well, he was second in a Turner's Chase once, wasn't he?
Yeah, beating about 50 lengths. Yeah, and he was.
But at least he turned up that day. You know.
Yeah.
More to be said for the British horses. You know, I think he won a Kerry National as well.
He fell into a Kerry National. Yeah, I think. Did someone fall at the last?
Hewitt came down at the last, didn't it?
Hewitt came down at the last with the Race at His Mercy. Yeah, bustled and pick up the pieces. But he did. Yeah, he won a Kerry National.
Bustleton for me.
Yeah, I had a bit of a chuckle there at Vital Island's form. He ran in a cross country race in France in May. Prominent dropped into midfield before 17th, lost place 21st, tailed off when pulled up before the 36th. The 36th, anyway. Only
that's it. They're big race. Leon Langer, isn't it? That's their big cross country race. I think I'd say it's worth the right for you, Bob.
Yeah, it's a good few.
You want to be over on them.
Yeah, I know you would. Absolutely would. I think Vital Island would be an interesting enough runner. 13 years of age, but age doesn't really bother me that much in a race like this. It's just the fact that he hasn't ran obviously since May. Sometimes with older horses, you would like to see them have a run, but he has ran well off a break before, albeit in point to points and under rules as a younger horse. I think I'd take a chance on him each way. He might be a fair enough price, Vital Island. Darragh O'Keefe on board, I think he'd have a fair each way chance. Luke, who are you coming to here in the Risk of Thunder?
I thought this was tricky. I think a lot of these would prefer a bit of better ground. I'd be all over Final Orders. I thought you ran a cracker back in the festival if it was decent ground, but he's just not going to walk on this ground Sunday. I think Bustleton might struggle on the ground. Desertmore House, you're looking through the field and you're trying to find one that will actually go on a bit of slow ground. To go for another that can be said for. You're just coming. Originally when I looked at this race, I was trying to get away from Vanillier, but I just keep on coming back to him just with the ground. Like last year when he had the blinkers on first time in the cross country in February over course and distance, he just looked a different horse. He ran well at Cheltenham, as you said, until even considering he nearly took the wrong course there early on. Then he was very lackluster back at Punchestown after that. I'd forgive him that. And I probably would take a chance on him here. He is 10. He has a lot of back class. He is a Albert Bartlett winner a few years ago when Mark Walsh rode him. Just with the ground, I probably just would side with him.
All right, so Vanillier for Luke, Bustleton for Deck, and Vital Island for myself as we move on. Right, moving on to the Irish Stallion Farms EBF Maiden Hurdle, 2 mile 5, or basically 2 3/4 miles. Deck, you were giving this race a lot of love on top 127. So I'll come to you here first. Obviously going to be probably a race well worth following as we go into the rest of the winter months and into the spring. Who do you like here?
Oh, I don't know. I did struggle with Andy. I kind of ended up deciding on Green Splendor. Like he won the entry bumper. It was 3 lengths behind Cog Cannon at Leopardstown before that. Now He Can't Dance was ahead of him at Leopardstown that day, but the wheels just seem to have come off with He Can't Dance since then. And I was quite keen on him last year after he won. I think it was Navan. I thought he was a really, really nice horse, and the wheels just seemed to have come off. He was beaten at Galway last month. Ballyfree, 5-year-old point-to-point winner. The second did eventually follow up, but it wouldn't be strong enough form for me now to be getting involved. But although I do give this race a lot of love every year, I didn't find it the most interesting this year, and I've ended up in Green Splendor. But like, you usually find this race interesting afterwards when you look back and you go, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, that's a fair point. I think Green Splendor is probably going to be a relatively short price. I never really thought He Can't Dance ever looked like a bumper horse. I know he went and won one, but I was expecting him to improve dramatically for a hurdle. That Dublin Racing Festival bumper behind Colcannon was basically a sprint up the straight, wasn't it? And he ran okay in the champion bumper, finished 8th, and then was fairly disappointing now, it's fair to say. He Can't Dance at Galway on his hurdling debut. He'd want to improve mightily from that, but I know in terms of the wheels falling off, you're probably right. Lyrene Og, another interesting one for Tony Martin, bumper winner first time up, bumper winner, point-to-point winner first time up by Blue Brazil, and now going into maiden hurdles. I'd say he's a nice horse, but maybe there's days in the future for him. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised to see him show up quite well. And then Banter at the Bar, who looked like the laziest horse I've ever seen in my life. When I think we both kind of spoke of him up on his rules debut deck, and he basically disgraced himself. He didn't go yard.
This race last year.
Was it really? Okay.
I think so,
314 days. I think it was Punchestown, of course, in distance. And then, Ballyfree, interesting enough runner, but as you said, the point-to-point form wouldn't be considered reliable. Luke, who are you looking at here?
Declan's going to start calling me a Jigginstown fanboy again now. We were going around Saturday night, and that's all he kept on saying to me. But anyway, or Sunday night after the match. I think Green Splendor is going to be fairly short here, and off the back of that Aintree run. He's right there. He Can't Dance. He fairly disgraced himself in Galway, but I think he's a lot better than that. He's coming back here, and he's going to have very soft ground. I think that's going to be big time in his favour. There are a lot of Gordons this year. Like, we've seen him with Calypso Chance last week. They've been coming on plenty for the run. I wouldn't be surprised if this lad came on a ton. Gordon was he was nearly defeated after Galway when he's doing the interview afterwards. It was just dumbfounded by it. I think he's a lot better than that. I think he'd be a decent price here against Green Splendor, and that'll give him one more chance here.
Yeah, well, trust the tried and tested fanboy method.
Exactly, yeah. If it's not broken, don't fix it.
Very good. I'm very interested to see what way Lyrene now goes in the market. But I think the Green Splendor is the most likely winner, definitely. And hard to get away from him, the Aintree bumper winner.
I'd be hoping Tony be giving us a tip for Lyrene Ogden. They've done his now in February.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Getting down to a mark of 89.
Ted's Corner hasn't done much for us anyway.
He didn't do much. He came there today now, but
that's all he did. He went to Fairy House today. That's all he did back home. Right, Punchestown. Donahue Marquis Novice Handicap Hurdle. 2 miles and 197 yards. 12:43. 9 runners here. It's a very open race. A good few horses coming here off the back of a win as well. I think 5 of them in the field coming here off the back of a win. So this is likely going to be a race you could follow going into the winter and the springtime. I'd say there's a good few horses here probably ahead of their mark. Luke, I'll come to you first with the task of trying to find which one we back.
Yeah, well, I thought this was very hard considering there's no Jigginstown horse here, just to say that'll do. So we'll have to jump ship to JP, and we won't go with the first colours this time. Although he was very impressive at Punchestown back in June. He won 26, could be a nice mark, but I actually was really impressed with county final in Navan in September. Like, he won by 16 lengths. There was no wash or half look after his mark here. It was out win, job done. I'd imagine he's a bit better in 120. Eric Mack has been flying. He did treble there in Limerick the other day. I think off 120 there could be a few more pounds up his sleeve here.
All right, okay. That's a bold shout. Deck, who are you on here?
I like the one on the bottom, Coquito Bello.
Okay.
Definitely getting the hang of things over hurdles, and probably didn't didn't get the most vintage ride at Galway. Actually won a beginner's chase the last day, but his last hurdle was third off 98. He's up £2, only a £5. I'd say this horse is well handicapped.
Interesting enough, yeah. I think I'd be with Lukey as well on county final. I it's the ground is what's stopping me from getting really, really giddy about him. But I think 120 is a very, very workable mark. I do think going this way as well. He jumped a little right at Navan. I think coming around, going right-handed now is going to help him a little bit as well. So. Yeah, I'm going to take a chance on county final.
Just on Coquito Bello, Philip Rothwell is coming back into form. He's the winner today.
The winner of Limerick as well.
Winner of Limerick as well. Cheerful chap, probably should have won at Cheltenham last week. He was kind of gone off the boil there for a while after his best season ever, but he's definitely coming into a bit of form now, and I'd say you could be following him now for the next few weeks or months.
Set your watch to him now as we round out 2025. Sounds like a plan. Right, the 117 is the Frontline Security Gradle Mares Hurdle listed event over 2 Mile 2. This is another very competitive race. We've got 5 runners. It's kind of hard to discount any of the 5, really. Baby Kate in her first time tongue tie. She has a little bit to find, but again, could be. They're quite unexposed. Feet of a Dancer, despite not winning in quite a while, very consistent and is the highest rated it is. Fun. A bit of a head scratcher coming back to hurdles, but maybe this is a sighter for something else. Mozzie's Sister, grade 1 place last year and coming here off the back of a win. And then the Great Nudie, who didn't seem to enjoy fences the last day at Gowran, but again, still remains unexposed and has potential. Deck, come back to you here again. Who do you like?
Yeah, look, I'm a big fan of Mozzie's Sister. She stays further than this. She's very consistent. You said she was placed in a grade 1. She was second behind Cottesloe Sunshine at the Punchestown Festival in a listed race. But I love Feet of a Dancer. And is it Fairy House in the handicap the last time she won? Feet
of a Dancer. She failed to win last year, I'm pretty sure. It was the summer. Like it depends. Wexford, yeah. So technically she did win last season, but it was the first month of the season. So yeah, I'm wrong there.
Look, she's the highest rated here. She was third in the grade 2 in April. Colonel Mustard was actually behind her that day. Who's gone and won, beating the winner of that race, Maxim, on Monday. She's still only 6. She is a favourite of mine, so I do struggle to look past her at times. But I think this could be a good opportunity for her to pick up some black type.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you. She is probably going to. I'd have her probably second favourite. I think I can't see the market ignoring fun. I think that she's probably going to be over bet. But I wouldn't be fancying her now myself. Luke, who do you like her?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything Deck said there. Like, I think she's just a horse on the up. She finished 4th in that Thames qualifier around Leopardstown. She finished 3rd and went on to finish 4th in the final at Cheltenham, and her best race of the season last year when finishing 3rd there at Ferias. She was 3rd in this last year behind Risk Bell and Lot of Joy. I'd imagine if she runs up to the Ferry House run, it's going to be good enough to win it. It's just interesting what they're doing with fun. Like, are they trying to protect their mark over fences for something later on in the season, or are they just trying to get another bit of black type here? It's hard to tell. Mozzie's Sister and the Great Nudie are good, but they're probably good at a level. I'd say they might just struggle against the top 2, and of those, I'd be a Feet of a Dancer.
Oh, snap at the tap material.
I had it between Feet of a Dancer and Mozzie's Sister myself. It was the fitness edge that was. I was thinking about Mozzie's Sister. No, her and the Great Nudie are the only ones that will, come in here off the back of a run. And I probably agree that I don't think a Great Nudie is going to be quite up to this level. But Feet of a Dancer is the highest rated in here over hurdles. Obviously, fun is an exorbitant enough mark over fences in the high 140s. I don't know if it's fair. Is it maybe unfair to say that could flatter her slightly? I think it probably does a little bit. But I would agree. I think Feet of a Dancer is the one to be with. I'll probably follow you guys in on that one. I was going to be on the shelf, but if you both fancy it, I'm comfortable enough following both of you in. So feet of an answer for all three of us in the Mayor's Hurdle. And hopefully we're going to get a nice price, because I do think fun's going to hit that market. Yeah. All right. Well, we come back there about a score lighter after the 6:45 from Dundalk. Yeah, cheers, Lukey. You're going to have to try and get that back for us now on the Pretemps Network group Handicap Hurdle at 152. To be honest with you now, I was a little bit surprised to only see 9 runners. I don't think I've ever seen a Pretemps qualifier with that little runners in Ireland before. Usually only have to show up in England to qualify for the Pretemps final. There's usually a 4 or 5 runner event around Exeter, isn't there? But anyway, Luke, I'll give the floor to you. Starting with the top one, Staffordshire Knot. What's your opinion there?
That's just Jigginstown, isn't it? Should just say no more. Easy game, lads. No, listen, you ran a cracker there. Nice last time behind that horse that Tony Mullins told to back the world at the race there during the season. I think he told the world as well to back it.
I don't even have at the races. People are asking to get on at the races. What would I be watching at the races for? There's only gaff tracks. Newbury and Ascot and places like that.
You should add Haydock to your list of gaff tracks, no?
Yeah.
Haydock be another one of your good gaff tracks if they could make their way back to ATR.
No, but wasn't that the races? Like it was the gaff tracks, wasn't it? At races TV. And then suddenly Ascot and Newbury became gaff tracks. They moved on with that at the races.
Yeah.
I wasn't watching. I was. Anyway, I'm not. I don't have to come on here to defend me tips.
No, I was just saying it's a great tip. Well, the 12-1 winner. It doesn't matter that Tony Mullins took all the spotlight. It was really you that put the people onto it.
Yeah, but was that not the day we got the double of the decade?
Yeah, we've just lost. We've just lost a double of the decade on Luke's tip there. So we need to say what wins the Pretemps qualifier here.
Sure, we have the double of the decade tomorrow with the 2 Jigginstown horses. It's an easy game, then. No, Staff should not. Like you said, he ran a cracker there the last day over 2.5. I think stepping back up to 3 in a bit of soft, heavy ground there Sunday. I think that's ideal for him. Like he has a lot of back form there from his novice days. He was second in Aintree behind Brighter Days Ahead. I actually like top weights in these kind of races with a few pounds off it. I think class brings them a long way in these types of races. And there's only 9 here. Like, half of them are nearly qualified if they get around tomorrow, like, for Cheltenham. I'd say he's going to be decent at price there. There's a few in there that are probably likely to be short, a few last time out winners. I think he could be decent each way price there.
Yeah. Good old Staffordshire Knot. Yeah, I really, really liked him going chasing, and yeah, that was a disaster. Right, Deck. I think we were talking about offline about Custom Taylor, who's on a 4-timer, 6 years of age, very progressive. Yeah. What's your thoughts on him, and who do you like?
Yeah, look, he's definitely on an upward curve, and I just think he's better than his mark. He's a horse I've had a lot of time for. We discussed him a few times last year. Yeah, look, I think he'd be tough to beat, but I do also like Millstream Lady, very consistent mare, and sometimes she does well in small fields, and you've obviously mentioned, Andy, there is a small field, only 9 runners, but less than 10 she seems to perform better, and sometimes I feel with this mare that if there's nothing standing out in the race, you just back her, because a few times in Limerick I've been struggling now, and she's just gone and bolted up. But I think it's between the two of them. I don't usually rush to punt in Pretemps qualifiers ever.
Fair point. Yeah.
But like when there's only 9 runners, and you only have to finish in, halfway up the field to qualify. But look, I think Custom Taylor is better than this. He's a horse on an upward curve, and he'd probably be favourite. Probably just go and win while the others are just trying to qualify.
Yeah, well, knowing Declan Queally, like he won a handicap at Gowran with Rocky's Diamond last year, and they could have easily gone for the Pretemps qualifier at Leopardstown, and they went for the Grade 1 instead. And
I think this fella is great class, and part of the reason, he may end up in the Pretemps, but yeah, I do think Declan Queally has bigger ambitions for his yard at the moment.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this horse will go for Leopardstown's the stayers race at Leopardstown if he wins this. I don't think Declan will think twice about that. And he's the one that they're going to have to all beat, I think. The one I was really, really interested in, though, and I'm going to do a reverse forecast in this race, the bottom weight Sarah Barra for Sam Curling, Jordan Gainford. She is a pounder on, 7-year-old mare. She hasn't been seen since falling at Limerick almost a year ago at Christmas time. You could make an argument she was coming to win the race that day, and she's been left on the same mark. She's some pretty decent form in graded hurdles. Like, she was only beaten 3 1/4 lengths by Bioluminescence in Limerick. And now that was the 10th of March 2024. And Bioluminescence probably had a lot more in hand that day, but it was all off levels. Millstream Lady and Sarah Barrow basically went across the line together that day, both of whom were rated 114 at the time. Now, Millstream Ladies kind of enjoyed a pretty prosperous racing career since then, where Sarah Barrow, with, I do think she probably would have won that race at Limerick when she fell, but there's going to be £15 between them on Sunday, and assuming Sarah Barrow can go well fresh, she's going to be a big price, and I would imagine that her rating of 114, again, as I said, she's a pound wrong. Jordan Gainford up, it wouldn't bother me too much. I kind of fancy her to run a big race, and I think she could even be the rag of this field. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm going to back her each way, and I'm going to do a reverse forecast with Custom Taylor, because I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. Depending on the prices, I might back them both, but if Custom Taylor's a bit too short, I'm happy to let him win. I'll back Sarah Barra at hopefully big prices. Right, the 227, the Matchbook Betting Exchange, Craddockstown Novice Chase. Is it fair to say this is a lackluster grade too? I would imagine it.
I don't know. I don't know. And he, like, Florida in the Park, he's won really well at Wexford. Flicker of Hope was in Tour that day. He's gone and beat the yoke you said would win the lot today. Yeah. So
fair
take
point.
that back. Glenn Ashling was fourth in that race, and he was very unlucky to bump into in the race that Don't Tell Jack didn't run in. What was it?
Yeah, that was a rated chase at
yeah. But Glenn Ashling went close, and that was second. When not really fancied. Flora in the Park was second to Tap on the Go. Looked like he had him covered, turning in. Only a 6-year-old. I think it could be quite exciting. But I also really like Relieve the Duties, and I was at Ferry House when he won his beginner's chase, and like we talked about him a good bit last year. He was a potential supreme horse at one stage, and then he looked to be thrown in the Litty, and it just didn't materialise for him. He was probably a bit weak, but he looked a different horse at Ferry House. He was very, very quick over his fences. No, you think you were there? Luke actually started laughing at me. You were there, because I said, Jesus, he could come back here for the 10 more.
Yeah, and I thought you were on about the one in the Maiden Hurdle. I was like, where is this lad? What is this lad on?
So, look, he went to Cheltenham. He was second, but you didn't like him to see him win that, but he had to travel. I was impressed that day. He was good on the eye, and it stuck with me. So, like, Flora in the Park has all the form, and I think you've been harsh in the race, Andy. But what I seen to Relieve the Duty sticking with me, and
I can almost. Sorry, Deck, to cut over. I can almost guarantee you they are working back from the Grand Annual with Relieve the Duties.
Do you think so?
I absolutely, given the way he was borderline detached at the first in that race at Cheltenham, and then was the only one to really stay on. I would, given the way he was ridden, I'm fairly sure handicaps are in mind for him. He's a rating of 137 already. Hack around in this and hack around in one more race, and you have your mark for the Grand Annual, for which he's probably a 9-2, 5-1 chance for. Well, that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That day at Cheltenham, I just thought it was an Irish jockey riding, and they go too quick, and in Britain sometimes, and it was just maybe a sensible riding. Well, look, if he's not off, Florida in the Park wins. Why did you walk back
Yeah.
from the Grand Annual and not the Dan Moore though?
That's a good question. Yeah, but look, I just think that given connections, Rob Corr, they tend to base their whole, well, but basically most owners would, wouldn't they? But base their whole campaigns around the Cheltenham Festival. I just think this horse been given a mark 137. I think he's probably a 140 odd horse in the UK.
Is that the mark he was given for running in Britain? Was it just for?
It's the mark he has right now in Ireland.
Right.
Yeah, so it's I just think it's a. Yeah, I have a feeling that that's what they're going to be doing, which then for like leaves you a floor in the park. I think Westport Cove he's 6-4 here. There's actually betting. Relieved Duties is an 8-1 poke right now. Which
look,
probably
the only thing I'd say is like with horses like Relieved Duties, they could, if they're not like, do you walk back from a Grand Annual or do they handicap themselves for the Grand Annual? Like, do you try? Is the Arkle your aim? And if they're not good enough for the Arkle, they'll end up in the Grand Annual. They'll handicap themselves. He's that type of horse to me. So I would be totally convinced that they're stopping him. You know, I would say, look, if he wins this race, he's in the Arkle picture, in my opinion. Yeah, no,
I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you.
So, like, but if he doesn't, then he's handicapping himself for the Grand Annual. Like, I think you've nothing to lose with horses like this, with going and trying to. You don't have to be too clever with them. You know, they'll either take you there or they'll take you down the other road.
That's it. Yeah.
So, sure. Look, we'll find out on Sunday, I suppose.
Absolutely, Lukey. Who's your fancy for the Craddockstown?
Yeah, I'm with Deck here. Relieved the Duties. I don't know about the holding back. Like, he's 137 here. Like, Westport Cove is in here off 144. Like, what are you going to get if you win it? Like, he's getting £3 off him at the same time. I think it's just more of a. It's just you're going through the race here and you're trying to. You're just trying to get one here. Like, I think Westport Cove is just a bit of a flat track bully. Like, he goes around Roscommon there, and he won well. But when he went to Galway, he was bet. I think he has his limitations around the track. Like Punchestown, floor in the park, as likeable as he is, he probably just doesn't win enough at the same time. He could go win this. Like, he's rated 139 here. The two of them are off. They're £2 between them off handicap ratings and floor in the park. They both race off levels here. Like, one is 5-4, one is 8-1. I know I'd rather take the 8-1 Relieved to Judy's than 5-4 floor in the park here.
Andy, the horse you're gonna tip here, you better hope they're all not off to win it. I know you're going with this.
I'm just going to send out another play. I'm going for both the mares because they're both double figure prices. I'm sending out a play to Con O'Keefe to please run this mare in a handicap of 128. I actually could have to write a letter to the stud at this stage. It's criminal how she's still that rating after the last day. I wouldn't discount her. And look, I know what you think of Break My Soul, Deck. I'm a big fan of her as well. I think Qualamita I think she ran a career best there. They're never going to get that 500k back, but I thought she ran well enough to suggest that there's a big future for her over fences. And if we've both backed Break My Soul for the Arkle, and the runner-up in what I think is a subpar grade 2 is 16-1, I'm going to back her. I'm not even going to back her each way. I'm going to back her to win the race. I'm going to back both the mares because I think Kilbarry Saint is a very good mare. Plays Con, runner in a handicap.
But Andy, you have to remember she's owned by a stud. They're not playing the same game as.
I know, absolutely, yeah. I totally get it. Yeah, I totally get it.
And then you're tipping up, and you're taking 2, and the other one has never won before.
Doesn't matter. Hasn't won before. It's one point to point. But I think that was a career best behind Break My Soul. The RPRs don't actually, they have it as a joint career best, but I think it was easily a career best. I thought she jumped really well. And if we like Break My Soul for an Arkle, I think you have to kind of boost that form than what the general public might think.
That's fair enough comment.
But yeah, I pretty much think that the two mares only have floor in the park to be, and they're both double figure prices. That's where I'm coming from. So
this be interesting now. We're all there on Sunday.
and related duties lines up 6 lengths off the rest of the field.
This is where we need the live video.
Can
Yeah.
we just be like touch me not like last year, just wing around?
Yeah.
You-
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This would be good for the podcast. Both of you guys are going for related duties, but I'd
Andy, it's not
be
been
bowled
about being good for the podcast, about being good for your pocket.
Exactly. Well, like I don't mind. I'll be backing both the mares at double figure prices. I know there's only 5 runners, but if they're both double figure prices, I think it's I don't really mind. Right, on to the main event, the John Durkan Memorial Handicap Chase, Grade 1, 2.5 miles. I'm going to try and resist abusing Factor File and Gaelic Warrior for basically just in the interest of time. You can go back to basically any of the last 5 or 6 podcasts if you want to hear that one. But my God, what a race. We've got 11 runners from Factor File at, 5 to 4, is it last time I checked, I think? 6 to 5, 5 to 4, give or take. All the way down to Sinessia, good old Sinessia at 100 to 1. Like 11 exceptional horses, and it's going to be brilliant to be there. A perfect starting spot for the majority of these. Some have already obviously had runs. Deck, I'm going to come straight back to you for the main event on Sunday. Really looking forward to this. Who do you think's going to win?
Well, look, first of all, I think there's been some awful takes on this race by British racing fans who are just trying to grab at it because the product in Britain is broken. Like, what do you want? Like, do we get did we get Arkle out of the museum? Like, will we get him to run? Like, I don't know what people are looking for. You know, the Gold Cup winners in here, the Ryanair winners in here, last year's winners in here,
Grand National winners in
here, the RSA winners in here, you know, Sinisi is in here. What more do you want? Like, I don't know. This is an absolute cracker, but you probably all know where I'm going, and it's Lecky Watson, and he did win the Broadway. Look, I know he fell here at the festival, but I don't think he was ever comfortable. And I just put a line through that race, just completely ignored it, pretend it never happened. He was never going to win that day. You knew that after a fence. What I really liked about him last year is when he ran over hurdles, I always thought he looked slow, like he wanted a trip, like he's going to be a proper Albert Bartlett horse. But when he went chasing, he was so comfortable over this trip. He won at Punchestown. I think that what used to be the Killiney Novice Chase at Leopardstown on Moscow Flyer Day. Like, he was so good. His beginner's chase at Nace was very, very good. And then he stepped up and trip, and he done what good horses do when he stepped up a trip at Cheltenham. He won well. I'm going to totally forgive the Punchestown Festival run. He's a good price, and he's a Gold Cup contender in my opinion. It's an absolute cracker of a race. But I think this horse is the real deal. He's a good jumper. I thought he was clever. It was the fact he was so comfortable coming back to 2.5 miles over fences that really, really impressed me. He's so good on the eye, and you can give out, you can kind of grab at the horses he's beaten, but he's done it in good style every time he's won over fences. And I've already backed him for the Gold Cup, and I'll be there again in March when he wins it.
Happy days. He's 20 to 1 here for the Durkan. So
he's probably on the same price as the Gold Cup.
Yeah, he probably is. Like you look at the anti-post markets, I'll try and pull one up, and I'll just compare it to what they are to win the Durkan.
Yeah, I just sorry to cut across, Andy.
Yeah, you're right.
Aaron C and Lecky Watson is a good double this weekend. I'm not saying it's nothing on now. The other one only comes around. One a few weeks ago only comes around once every 10 years. So it's not going to rival that. But look, it's worth a go. You know,
I wouldn't disagree.
4 to 1 and 20 to 1. We'll have a bit of that.
All right. Do you want me to call out the Gold Cup bet? No, I'll go best prices. So I'm not going to go any specific bookmaker. I know the way you're thinking, 7 to 2. So he's 8 to 1 here. Galopin de Champ 6 to 1. Factor Files 12 to 1. He's like the Gaelic Warrior 14 to 1. What price Gaelic Warrior? He's 5 to 2. Okay. We've got Yeah, like Lecky Watson is 25-1 for the Gold Cup, or you could back him 20-1 for a Durkan. Like it's a fairly
And he's comfortable over this trip.
yeah, it's
not
very
like-
interesting.
It's not going to be too short for him, and he will stay. He's very comfortable over this trip, as he proved last year. Like he's not like he'll stay. He's classy and he'll stay, but he's not like a dour stayer and he wants every yard. He can. He's good over this trip. He's clever at his fences. He's a good jumper.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity as well for Sean O'Keefe. Gets fair play. Will he let him keep the ride? Well, get the ride back, I suppose, is probably the best.
Oh, come here, and he gave him an absolute peach at Cheltenham.
He did.
You know, brilliant. That was a great day.
And yeah, give a shout out to Fast or Slow. Great to see him back as well.
Sorry, I never mentioned him. Like, what Fast or Slow and Galloping Deschamps has given us over the last few years. Like, you know, it is hard to compare horses to them and Craddockstown, but like these have been doing it more. I think, you know, knocking the shite out of each other at every opportunity. 2.5 miles, 3 miles. You know, they had a go in a Gold Cup, Fast or Slow and seated. Like it's been absolutely magic. To just keep turning up, punching each other around. It's been absolutely. It's what racing's about, and I don't think we've appreciated them. And then, like, Galloping Deschamps has won 2 Gold Cups in that time, and Fast Slow's been knocking them around. Like, it's been absolutely brilliant. So, look, I couldn't be backing him, but I'd love to see him run a good race and grow into a season. And he deserves a proper go at Cheltenham, because he ran in the Ultimate. That was the first time he was ever off in his life, when he ran the Ultimate.
That was the Coral Cup as well. Short-headed by Commander of Fleet in a Coral Cup. He unseated in a Gold Cup in 2024. He was travelling well though at the time.
Yeah, he was travelling really, really well. And I actually, Dave introduced me to JJ at Leopardstown at a flat meeting a month later, Luke, and we asked him. He was like, "Oh, he's going so well." You know, it's an awful shame, but hopefully, I'd love to see him grow into a season and have a right go at it in March.
Yeah,
follow me too.
Right, Luke, you've been waiting nice and patiently there. Who's your idea for the Durkan winner?
You mentioned him there a second ago, Fast or Slow. I'm going to give him a chance here, because I think out of a lot of these, they all have bigger targets that are building towards their season, whereas Fast or Slow, like, he was injured last year, he spent a year out. They're not going to take a chance. He's going to be fairly straight. That's kind of just the angle I was taking in. Like, this is one of the best fields you're going to see all season, without a shadow. Like, to have the Gold Cup winner, Gaelic Warrior, mopped up over 3 miles towards the end of the season when he came right, but I just worry about him early season. He hasn't really sparked before Christmas, and there's a lot of people that are fancying for King George. I'd just be waiting to see what he does on Sunday. Fact of file, I know, Andy, you're not the biggest fan, but geez, he was awesome last year, and last year's Ryanair came back to Punchestown over 2 miles, and it just never really happened for him. That's without mentioning the Gold Cup winner, the RSA winner. You have 2 Grand National winners in there. Like, this is just going to be the wonder race of the season. Like, you can see the smile there in Deck's face there. You've just a thought of this race on Sunday when Lecky Watson goes over the last and just doesn't quite nail Fast or Slow. He doesn't for a bit of toe.
Look, and do you know what's brilliant about this race is, wherever way they come out of it, they've all we go to Christmas. I needed that.
Yeah,
exactly. You know, we'll all go to Leopardstown at Christmas. We'll do it all over again, and we got that last year. And hopefully we get it. You know, if you're giving out about this race, you don't like racing, find another hobby. It's okay. You don't have to like racing. Like, you know, just because it's cool. You know, maybe you're not one of the cool guys. Go find another hobby. Like, do you know what I mean? Pick up chess or something. You know,
the Ashes is on there.
Yeah, go watch the cricket or something. Like, you know what I mean? It's mouth watering, and we're gonna go to Leopardstown at Christmas. And it's, you know, and then we're going to go to February, and everyone can grow into their season, and they can just keep taking each other on. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And you know what? If Nick Rocket's out the back, just back up for the Grand National again. Like, you don't have to be against it. Just get involved. You know, back him for. If you think he's out the back because they're watching the market, they're trying to get it down, have a go at the Grand National. Then we're all here to have a bet.
Yeah, exactly. Can I ask you guys a question, right? At what point, and I know the trip is short of his best, and that's probably factored into his price and maybe his run last year, but given that he was only 6 turning 7 and he was maturing all the time and he was improving with every run of the season, I know the way you're thinking. Sits here as an 8-1 chance. At what point does he become value in this race? I know granted it's an adequate trip, but he is the Gold Cup winner.
I tell you the difference between last year and this year, and what really brings him into this, if he's fit enough, he can jump now. And Gavin Cromwell's talked about, it's great to see Keith riding, and you'd love Keith to pick up a grade 1 on him, because Gavin keeps mentioning like it's what Keith done at home with his jumping that got him to win a Gold Cup. Like he couldn't lift his legs 18 months ago, you know, and he can jump now, so that makes him very interesting. But look, it's unfortunate for them all. They're going to bump into a Lecky Watson all the season.
Oh, very good. I think I'll follow you in on Lecky Watson, Deck, because it is not a race that I'd usually have a bet in. I just sit back and appreciate this race. But I know you've been sweet on Lecky Watson. You haven't really been wrong at all from last year. But if I know the way you're thinking keeps on drifting, like if he gets to a double figure price, I don't think I'll be able to resist myself. I think you're going to see an absolute horse that's inside out from the horse that ran in this race last year. And I think people are just assuming he needs 3 miles, and they could be right, but his price is getting to the stage where I'd nearly have a few quid on to find out, because, like, you know, rule out a Gold Cup winner like that at your peril. I know the trip's inadequate, but he is getting to the point now where his price is just getting silly. So yeah, I'll back Lecky Watson, but if I know the way you're thinking gets to a double figure price, I think I won't be able to help myself. Lukey, you are on good old fast or slow, is that?
Yeah, fast or slow.
Perfect.
One for the good guys.
No Jigginstown horses here. Who's sourcing their horses?
Sure, I just had to back Stellar's story over in Haydock now tomorrow. That's your travel of the century. Never mind a decade.
That's the bait.
Why am I actually going to do that, Trevor?
Sure, you'd have to do the double with Lecky Watson there. Stellar story after beating him last year.
That's if you order a grade 1 on team, that's the race you get at Haydock, isn't it? Really. Anyway, right, all aboard for the bumper, the Jimmy Hayes Memorial at 3:35. Yeah, not really a race that I spent much time on. Surprise! I wouldn't imagine.
This is a cracker.
Have we a few coming back to? Have we a few coming back from hurdles? Are we?
No, I'll tell you what. There's this bumper goes back to that day at Old Town, Lukey. Yeah. Look, but Boys Town was second to Sound as a Bell at Craddockstown. That was the day Sound as a Bell followed up after. He was toured, wasn't he? At Old Town. But Treasure Memory was second to Apache Tribe that day at Old Town as well. He won the 5-year-old maiden, and Apache Tribe has actually gone on and won on the track. Treasure Memory was second in the maiden hurdle at Galway, Andy. He'd be right for you. It must have been. I tell you, it wasn't just the points that day, Luke, at Old Town. It was magic in the air.
And
it was Valentine's Day as well.
Yeah.
So it's just aeroplanes left, right, and centre.
Yeah. Look, I'd side with Boys Town just on the form of the 4-year-old, the 4-year-old maiden, but like Treasure Memory coming back from a hurdle run at Galway, having finished second to Apache Tribe, won the 5-year-old maiden that day, and who has won on the track. Oh, this is a cracker.
Another cracker. Lukey, who are we on here?
You know my affinity with bumpers, but I'm actually going to roll out with one here, and it's Tony Martin's horse, Treasure Memory. I'm a big fan of the horse that bet him in Galway. Barry Connell's each to their own. I thought he was very good, and he has form tying in with Kaiser Ball last year, which looks like another good thing this year. Firebrand's a decent sort back in third, coming back to bumpers. Rogue show for me in the bumper, but I just take a chance on him.
I reckon we're getting prices here on the 2 days as well.
Yeah, you could easily do. Yeah, I'm gonna. Whoever's having the better day, I'll probably follow in behind them. I don't really have an opinion here on the bumper.
I'll back both of them.
I back both.
Yeah, boys.
Oh, there'd be some serious Bolivians and Ecuadorians going on. So I'll be having the back there. I'll have two in the Pretemps. I'll have two in the Craddockstown, even though there's only 5 runners. But I know the way you're thinking, and Lecky Watson in the Durkan, and then we're
This would be a Papua New Guinea or something.
There'd be perms going all over. I'll break the bleeding calculator trying to back these.
And we haven't even got the Cork yet.
Haven't even got to Cork. Right. Do you want to run through your selections at Cork then, Deck, before we sign off here? And Lukey, if you have anything else, I'll give you a chance as well. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Deck.
look, there's a handicap chase at Cork 245. Eric McNamara has won in Hermino. He won off 134, a hurdle mark in Britain. That was in Newry. It's a second run for Eric. I don't always trust those British marks. He's in here, chase mark off 123. You just don't know. Very, very wary of him. But I do like Castlefield Boy, the 9-year-old. He won off 100, handicap chase off 110, first time out this season. That was a handicap chase debut. He's still only £3 above his last winning hurdle mark, which is 116. Like, it's a good opportunity for him to follow up here, but I can't see him being beaten other than this thing of Eric McNamara's makes me a little bit nervous. But depending
No flies on him.
What?
No flies on him or one of the other ones?
Hermino,
yeah, I was thinking as a Eric McNamara was cheating hardly. Hermino, yeah, no, absolutely. He has a great chance. I just saw no flies on him in the same race. I was like, Jesus.
Oh no, Jesus, don't know what he's gonna do with him. Even Eric won't sort him out.
Yeah. No money on him is probably the best way to it. Anyway, you want any thoughts on the Mayor's Beginners deck? That was obviously the 210 there. Craddockstown Sunshine, Jade de Grugy, Carla Conti, Magic McColgan, the Big Westerner. Looks like a really good race there. It might be one to watch.
It's like the beginners we discussed for tomorrow's card, Saturday.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot going on there, and we don't have a lot to go on. None of them jumped fences before, so really, we'll enjoy watching that one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, look forward to that one. Nothing else down on the core card then, Deck, no?
Jesus.
No. A few more there. Go
There's not enough countries in South America.
Right, Lukey, anything else for yourself? Even if you want to go to Haydock or Ascot, knock yourself out. But
no, just down in court. That Maiden Hurdle looks very good. Jalan de Dairies is in there. Another Jigginstown horse, of course. Hasn't been seen since the Champion Bumper a few years ago, but I actually think he might be a decent price here on Sunday, and he's going to be fairly straight, you'd imagine. Like Sortudo is in there, and I've seen a few things about a few people have put him up in the ante there through the week for the Albert Bartlett, and there's been a bit
back Sortudo for the Supreme, and I don't know why you'd back him for an Albert Bartlett until you've seen him jump. Like, why do people think this fella is slow? He's beat
I'll sort that, but what, 12 lengths, is it?
Yeah, like I got like, where do people come up with this? And then one person says it, and then everyone says it. Unless he jumps like a wardrobe, I don't see why he goes to Albert Bartlett. What if this fella just goes down to the first, takes off, licks the top bar, lands? Like, he's not going to run the Albert Bartlett, is he?
I don't know.
I don't think they finished fast at Leopardstown as well in that Dublin Racing Festival bumper. He's only beaten an 8.5 by Colcannon.
Where was he on open the ante for the Albert Bartlett, Luke?
Yeah.
That's like heads up and Sortudo. Like, why are you not both? Like, well, Sortudo is going down to 2 miles.
He is. He's gone to town. Yeah.
Because he could have run at Punchestown. 2 miles 6.
If he goes here and beats Jalan de Dairy at over 2 miles, like he's going to go to Christmas, isn't he? He'll go to.
I'm going to back him again for the Supreme when we get off here.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I think he's a nice horse. I'm looking forward to seeing that maiden as well. Good card at Cork on Sunday. Well, look, that brings us to an end of Tap 128. Good crack as well. It looks like Feet of a Dancer is going to be the nap of the Tap. Lukey and I agreed on one in the Novice Handicap Hurdle as well. Was it county final, was it, or something? Yeah, and then Deck and I, well, more so Deck, I'm just following in with Lecky Watson. Yeah, no, it's going to be a good card. I'm looking forward to it. Be down there on Sunday. Very much looking forward to going racing again. As we said, big thanks again to Punchestown for letting us. Thanks again to Sean for him coming on as well, and letting us get a few tickets out to you guys as well. So if you see us, say hello. Otherwise, just keep sharing, and subscribing. Thanks again to Deck and Lukey, and until next time, lads. By the way.